It's a cold and a rainy day. I don't know the rest of the song anyway. Hey, you snuck up on me. How you doing? Hey, we're about to start today's version of the Morning Night Live, and that's all I got to say about that. Play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight. And stop the music. Actually, I'm going to start the music because I'm not going to forget that we got to have the funk while we're cruising along here on the Morning Night Live. So, poof, here we go. It's going to be really loud. Oh, turn it down, turn it down, turn it down quick. Oh, almost too late. Well, it was kind of too late. I should probably put my headphones on so I could hear what the hell is going on here. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm Marty, a.k.a. Dawg Knight, and lots of people already popping into the chat. Good morning. I'm saying my good mornings right now because if I miss you because you came in late, that's on you, not on me. But you who are listening right now, I'm already preaching to the choir. Good morning, Sheograth, who was first. Gets the bell. Good morning, Johnny Hellcat, RVA, C. Thomas, Gulf City present. G Prime, the gayest person on YouTube, Longfish61, Cynical Lindsay. Hey, this is a good start. So, I wonder now, who is G Prime? Are you new here? Or are you still here? Because it looks like you left already. But I don't know. I guess I'll find out. Let's see. No, well, it says you're here. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Good morning. So the big news yesterday was that Corey Lewandowski hearing. So that's what the picture on my thumbnail is, and the word contempt, because there's questions of whether or not Mr. Lewandowski is going to be held in contempt of Congress, which now let me just tell you, I think the person who had the most contempt was Corey Lewandowski. He clearly had contempt for his questioners, and he threw out some zingers here and there, which I thought was funny. I only watched I watched about a third of it, but I caught all the zingers and all the highlights on the news. And I still not quite sure what the purpose of this whole thing is. Really, the idea that, it's funny because the committee, the Judicial Committee of the House of Representatives, is calling it an impeachment inquiry. They're trying to use that word as much as they can. And it's fascinating just to see how they're working this, and so really it's a weird thing because they're saying that they're trying to get evidence to gather to find out if they want to impeach President Trump, but it's not an impeachment hearing, okay, because that would actually have to be approved by the entire House of Representatives. And they know they're not going to get that quite yet, but they're doing their best. And so they bring in Corey Lewandowski, who was the campaign manager for the Trump campaign, and decided that they were going to question him. So that's what we're going to start with today. First, we're going to just go, the Daily Caller put together a little video, the best moments of the hearing, which honestly, best is a very subjective term. Best would imply that there were actually good moments. I don't know. I found the whole thing rather almost comical. Lewandowski clearly had no time for these people, and what he did, it's interesting because he made his strategy to be that that music's distracting me. Hold up a second. His whole strategy was to treat the Judicial Committee exactly the way Robert Mueller treated the Judiciary Committee. And that meaning he would only answer questions that were in the Mueller report. And he got I think the White House counsel sent a letter to the committee. They didn't send it directly to Corey Lewandowski, but they sent it to the committee stating that they expect Mr. Lewandowski to only answer questions that were directly from the report, and anything that was a communication between him and the White House and or president was privileged. It was covered by executive privilege, which actually was just a straight play out of the Clinton era inquiries, where they said, anything that was a communication between this person and this person in the White House was executive privilege. So they threw all this stuff right back at the committee that seemingly they were able to tolerate for Robert Mueller. They were seemingly able to tolerate for President Clinton or other people related to President Clinton back then. And so it really kind of made a mockery of the whole thing, but it almost deserves to be mocked. So first, let's go into this. Let's get this first. Excuse me. By the way, I do have my reparations coffee. Also, I noticed Tyler F popped in. Also, Cynical Lindsay popped in. Good morning. Did I already say good morning? I might have, but I'm going to say it again anyway, just to be safe. Oh, you're normally just a lurker, but feeling social today. Well, that's cool. I'm happy when you lurk. I'm happy when you show up in the chat. As long as you enjoy the show, I'm glad that I am here for you. Absolutely. All right, let's check out some of the highlights and lowlights from this hearing. I'm going to turn the music off first, though. Hang on. Let me make some adjustments here. We'll get rid of this music real quick. We'll pause that. And I don't know why that should have even been. Why am I getting? That shouldn't even have been in there. There should be no vocal music in my music set. Did I push the wrong set? Anyway, that's my personal technical / boomerism. Here we go. Let's check out the highlights via the Daily Caller, and here we go.
But I've been asked by the White House to, Congressman, I'd be happy to answer your question, or you can just have a conversation by yourself. But if you'd like to ask me a question, I'll be happy to answer.
I'm going to continue. The reason is
well, then don't ask me a question if you don't want to hear my answer.
My time. This is a House Judiciary, not a House party.
So if you ask me a question, give me the opportunity to answer your question.
The very campaign the special counsel is investigating, I'd like my time restored, please, of his interruption. He called you in to do his dirty work in secret because he knew it was wrong. Well, we will expose the truth. The president cannot hide behind you any longer. And you should be here to be telling the truth, because the truth will set you free and the American people. I yield back.
The time of the gentlelady has expired. The witness may answer the question.
I don't believe there was a question, Congressman.
Very well.
Yes, there was.
Could you repeat the question? I didn't hear it.
So she did ask a question halfway through her tirade. I'm just going to make a couple notes here. She asked a question in the middle of her tirade, but it was one of those questions. It was basically a yes or no question, and he answered that. Then she just basically spent her whole time chirping at him, and then when her time ran out, you can ask the question, and there was no question. Literally, she used her entire time to grandstand. Anyway, keep going here. Let's see what else they put in this highlight reel.
It's just a rant.
Yeah, repeat the question.
I'll be here to repeat the question.
The gentlelady's time has expired. The gentleman from...
Did you know the Attorney General had recused?
I will begin by recognizing myself for 5 minutes. Mr. Lewandowski, is it correct that as reported in the Mueller report on June 19th, 2017, you met alone in the Oval Office with the President? I said,
is there a book and page number you can reference me to, please? I don't have a copy of the report in front of me.
Now, here's why he said that. Because this is, again, they decided they were going to treat this exactly as the Mueller hearing went. Okay, so he's asking him a specific question from a specific part of the report, and I just find this is like, I'm not a big fan. I don't usually say clown show, but this is total clown show.
In front of me.
Volume 2, page 90. But I simply ask you, is it correct that as reported in the Mueller report on June 19th, 2017, you met alone in the Oval Office with the president.
Could you read the exact language of the report, sir? I don't have it available to me.
I don't think I need to do that, and I have limited time. Did you meet alone with the president on that date?
He referenced the report.
Congressman, I'd like you to refresh my memory by providing a copy of the report so I can follow along.
Pate, you don't have a copy with you?
I don't have a copy of the report, Congressman.
Clock will
Mr.
stop.
Chairman, I request that the clock be stopped while this
I just asked
charade
that.
is sorted out.
This charade is whoever said that. I think that was Debbie Wasserman Schultz. But her description of this hearing as a charade, I don't think she realizes how true that is. And even the CNN commentator later said that nobody looked good during this. It was a total charade. Anyway.
I'm sorry, Congressman, what page was it?
The clock should have been stopped and should remain stopped. Page 90, volume 2.
Okay, and which paragraph, sir?
I don't have it in front of me.
I'd like a reference, sir, so I can follow along on what you're asking.
Oh my God. It is so bad.
Do you not have an independent recollection of whether you met with the president on that date?
Well, how would
Guys,
you?
I'm just
You know
trying to
what?
find
Let me
the
ask you
law
something.
report
Now,
that
here's
states
the
that.
thing. So Jerry Nadler is saying, okay, on this particular date, that did you meet with the president? I would have just said, hey, I'm not sure. My calendar is not sitting here in front of me. Can I reference my calendar? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Well, you have it in front of you. I gave you the page number.
Yeah, where on page 90 is it, sir?
This is, and notice how he's doing this. Do you remember the Mueller report and the hearing with Robert Mueller? That's exactly what Robert Mueller did. He would stop. He would ask, "Tell me which page," and it's and the fact that they don't realize that's what he's doing just makes it even a little bit more funny. But anyway.
No, I don't have to start the clock when he's filibustering. Bottom of page 90.
Filibustering is a different
Bottom of
issue. That's
page
across the hall in the
Bottom of
Senate.
pa-
This is actual questions being done now.
Mr. Chairman, point of parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
That's not
The
an
gentleman will state his point of parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, is it a
Oh, that's a dude. I thought it was Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Kind of sounded like her, didn't it? I mean, every time I heard it, then I realized I just forgot it was a congressman anyway.
appropriate for a witness to refuse to answer a question and instead demand that we reference and point him to the... I'd ask that Mueller report be closed and the witness be directed to answer the question.
Now, amazing. Listen to what he said one more time, because think about if you watched any of the Mueller hearing when they were questioning Robert Mueller about the Mueller report. Listen to this question.
Will state his point of parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, is it appropriate for a witness to refuse to answer a question and instead demand that we reference and point him to the... I'd ask that Mueller report be closed and the witness be directed to answer the question.
Now, if you remember the Mueller hearing when they were questioning Robert Mueller, didn't Robert Mueller do exactly what this congressman is describing? Exactly, to the T. Thank you. I got a super chat from C. Thomas, my man. Donated $2 in the super chats, which you can do through the Streamlabs link down below if you want something that you absolutely need me to read or get my attention, or if you have a question, I will always honor the super chats. C. Thomas with the $2 super chat. I already don't like these clownish, moralizing hacks. These anti-Trump retards keep pulling out every autistic bit of bullshit to stop Trump while they burn their credibility to the ground in their frantic, desperate attempt. Fuck all these hacks. Thank you, C. Thomas, for the super chat. I appreciate it. This is, again, I just think, I mean, whatever you think, if it's trolling, I don't know what you want to call it, but Lewandowski played these guys like a fiddle. And it's kind of humorous, actually, that he went in there and did exactly what Mueller did. It's hilarious. And they don't see it. And I mean, I saw it right away. It's like, oh my God, that's exactly what Robert Mueller was doing. All right, let's keep going here.
The answer is not appropriate, but it's on the bottom 2 lines of that page.
Hey, you set the precedent, not president, but precedent. You set the precedent with the Robert Mueller hearing, when you had the Joint Judiciary and I can't remember the other oversight committees. They set the precedent by letting Robert Mueller do exactly what Corey Lewandowski's doing here.
Now it can start. The clock can start now. There's a question.
Point of order. When will the clock start, Mr. Chairman?
Once the question's asked, Mr. Chairman, the clock should start.
Right under overview, second line.
Parliamentary inquiry,
Overview.
Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman, the witness.
Point of order.
The witness has the time and will
Point of
answer.
order is
Question. The
point
witness
of
will
order
answer the
overrides
question.
that. A point of order overrides that, Mr. Chairman, and you know that.
The gentleman will state his point of order.
Point of order is once the question has been asked and referenced properly to the witness to answer the question, the clock should start. It cannot be held while you and your counsel go over notes.
The gentleman is correct. The clock will start. And the witness will answer the question without further delay.
Yes, I see that in the report.
Thank you. Did he ever discuss with you any concerns?
And then his only answer is, yes, I see that in the report. Just like Robert Mueller did. Just exactly what Robert Mueller did. These guys don't even know it, that he's doing it. It's unbelievable. They're so self-unaware. And I, you know what? I mean, Lewandowski's kind of a dick. I get it. But still, he's just playing them. Oh my God, it's
that
embarrassing.
He may have committed a criminal offense.
The White House is directed not to disclose the substance of any discussions with the president or his advisors to protect executive branch confidentiality.
Right,
I recognize this is not my privilege.
Mr. Chairman, I make a point of order. Pursuant to Clause 2J, 2A of Rule 111, that the gentleman is out of order. He has exceeded the time limit under the 5-minute rule.
I will enforce the time limit under the 5-minute rule.
I challenge the ruling.
I
challenge the ruling of the chair.
The ruling of the chair is challenged. All those in favor of overriding the rule of the chair will say aye. Opposed, no? No.
Roll call.
Those have it. Roll call is asked. The clerk will call. Where's the clerk?
We can make this a lot
And they don't even have the clerk there. Oh my God, it's insane. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, by the way, good morning, Diesel Dave and Maddie. Point of drunk. I am so glad you're here. Good morning.
The roll.
Yeah. Mr. Nadler?
Question is, will the question is, will the ruling of the chair be overruled? My vote is no.
Mr. Nadler votes no. Ms. Lofgren? Ms. Jackson-Lee? Ms. Jackson-Lee votes no. Mr.
So then they had to go through this roll call vote real quick here. Thank you, Johnny Hellcat, $5 super chat. Awesome. Point of personal privilege. Oh, that's what. Okay, so that's what Johnny Hellcat wrote in his super chat. Thank you so much. If you'd like to do super chats, I don't have YouTube super chats, but I do have them down in the Streamlabs link down below in the description. Or if one of my mods could throw it up in the throw the link up into this chat too, that would be helpful. Thank you so much, Johnny Hellcat, for the $5 super chat. All right, moving on. Let's keep listening a little more as they go through the roll call vote.
Mr. Chairman, there are 13 ayes and 19 noes.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Please.
point of order. Mr. Chairman, since the chairman has refused...
Gentleman is not recognized.
I will be.
The point of order is sustained.
Mr. Chairman?
I am very troubled that the White House counsel sitting behind you are preventing you from answering these very basic questions that go to the heart of the president's conduct we are investigating.
Mr. Chairman, I have a motion.
Mr.
Chairman, I have a motion.
You will wait for your motion until I finish this.
Point of order, then.
Not only...
Point of order has got to be recognized.
Not in the middle of...
Yes, it does. The motion is since the chairman is not following the House rules, I move to adjourn.
Motion is to adjourn. A motion to
Point of parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Chairman.
motion to adjourn.
Point of parliamentary.
Rule stated-
If the Republicans on this committee are successful in this motion to adjourn, does that mean there will be no hearing and the American people will not hear from Mr. Lewandowski about his efforts to obstruct justice?
Yes, that's exactly what it
Okay,
means.
that's what I want.
It also could read, they could read the 3 times
Motion.
the previous already done it.
I have a point of parliamentary inquiry.
The motion is not debatable. As many as are in favor of the motion to adjourn.
I have a motion of parliamentary
As many are in favor.
So Mr. Cicilline gets recognized for his
Motion
inquiry,
is
but I don't
not
get recognized
debatable. As many as are in favor of the motion to adjourn say aye. Opposed, no? No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. Roll call is requested.
Oh my
The
God.
question is on the motion.
So I
to
missed this
adjourn.
part. This is the part I didn't
Roll.
watch because I
Mr.
couldn't.
Nadler?
It just
No.
drove me
Mr.
nuts.
Nadler votes no. Ms. Lofgren? Ms. Jackson Lee?
All right, so
Ms. Jackson Lee votes no. Mr. Cohen?
again, it is Clown Show. Hello, MC. It is hammer time. While we're listening to the squeaky roll call vote
Mr.
here,
Chairman, there
and
are
also
12
good morning,
ayes and 19
Kingslayer,
noes.
Damocles.
The motion to adjourn.
I hope
is
I'm
not
saying that
adopted.
right, Damocles.
Georgia,
I
for
think
his
that's how
opening
you
for his
say it.
questions.
I'm so glad
Thank
to
you,
hear
Mr. Chairman.
I'm glad you're
This
watching
past
at
few
work. I
minutes
appreciate
was
it.
totally avoidable and also very frustrating in the sense that it is also now raised from our perspective a question of the privileges of the rules of the House, which could be discussed on the floor and probably will be, and possibly just the blatant running over of House rules. My concern is ethics violations as well. This has got to be run in a different way. It's okay to try and get your stuff out. It's okay to be frustrated, but it's also not okay to overrun House rules. The 5-minute rule is a House rule. It's not a committee rule, and it's not up for interpretation by the chairman, whatever he feels like. It wouldn't be if I was the chairman or you're the chairman. That's not debatable. And you may not have got your last question in, but we've already discussed, and we're going to have a lot more discussion here in a little while on staff questioning. But there's plenty
Lindsay,
of time
I
to
don't
get that
wonder
last
why
little
you want
question that you
smaller
didn't get asked to somebody else.
Government.
But is it worth breaking the House rules? And I know some in the audience don't care, and some of the majority don't care. But at the end of the day, you're accusing a president of very high issues that we got to look at. You're accusing him and dragging it through in this committee for 8 months. We're doing this. So I think following procedures is something that you actually have to look at because your idea is not really.
Point of order, Mr.
Yield
Chairman.
back.
The time has expired.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lewandowski, you are about like a fish being.
Oh man,
cleaned
my
with a
favorite
spoon.
congressman on the planet. What's his name? Hank Johnson? Hank Island Tipper Johnson? Remember him? He's the one who thought that if they had too many people on Guam, the island might tip over. Play.
It's very hard to get an answer out of you. You felt kind of squeamish, like a.
Humor is hard to get an answer out of you. Remember Robert? Just again, he's playing Robert Mueller to a T.
Like that fish that you are trying to be right now, being scaled. You felt a little squeamish about delivering that message, correct?
No, sir.
Well, why didn't you? Why did it take you so long and you never even delivered it?
Correct. I never delivered the message.
Yeah, you chickened out.
I went on vacation.
You went on vacation. And so you put the message in the safe, in your home for safekeeping. Correct.
Like Robert,
before
like
you went on
like
vacation.
like
I
James
took my kids
Comey
to the
did.
beach, Congressman.
He's
That's more
also
of a priority.
he's also channeling James Comey. So they got this whole question about him putting the notes of the meetings in the safe. Who does that sound like? James Comey. Oh my God! It's unbelievable how they. Oh my God! It's hilarious.
And President Trump was hounding you about when are you going to deliver that message, correct?
Completely inaccurate, Congressman.
Well, he asked you about it a few times, didn't he?
No, we did not.
Have you ever put any words that the president asked you to
Okay,
write
now
down?
this is classic. I'm sure you all have seen this, but I'm finding great humor in this particular line of questioning too with Eric Swalwell, the brilliant mind of Eric Swalwell. You have AR-15s, we have nukes. Eric Swalwell.
Down before in a safe? Or was this the first time you'd done that?
I believe it's my standard operating procedure when taking notes, Congressman.
So every note that you take of the president, you put in a safe? How big's that safe?
It's a big safe, Congressman. There's a lot of guns in there.
On January 2019, on the Chris Matthews show, a member of this committee was asked, do you believe the president right now has been an agent of the Russians?
That was me.
That member said, yes, Chris Matthews followed up and said, an agent like in the 1940s working for a foreign power? That individual responded, he's working on behalf of the Russians, yes.
Still believe that.
And, you know, Mr. Chairman,
Oh my God! You moron! Why would you admit that right now, Swalwell? Oh my God, you're hilarious. Thank you for the $2 super chat. C. Thomas. Gotta love how these guys might consider the reach of executive privilege, all because these assholes want to find anything to try and impeach Trump while they all trip over themselves defending their own, especially Clinton, but yet it's okay when we do it. Yeah, they think it is. Thank you, C. Thomas, for the super chat. Streamlabs link down below if you need me to read something. Thank you. Moving on. Keep it going here.
The gentleman from
Arizona's got the time.
from Arizona has the time.
I'd like 10 seconds added back on. He's going to interrupt.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my vagina.
Seconds in any event.
Do you believe that Vladimir Putin is sitting in his office right now in the Kremlin, laughing at what those on the other side of the aisle are doing, and believing
that's speculative? I hope he didn't answer this. I
those
didn't
on
see
the other
this
side
part.
of the aisle are useful idiots helping?
Objection.
That objection. Okay, this objection should be abstained because he shouldn't disparage other members in the committee. That's just a rule. That's a House rule. That's a committee rule. So let's see what goes on here. Because I didn't see this part either. Let's listen to this objection and whether it's sustained.
I have a point of order.
The lady will state her point of order.
I have a point of order. According to the rules, and the rules of this committee and the House rules, we cannot attribute derogatory names to our colleagues or motives to our colleagues. And I believe the gentleman said those on the other side of the aisle are idiots. This is a very sacred and...
Well, he said useful idiots, which still is probably correct. She's probably correct in the rules here, but she is. Yes, she is an idiot.
Somber responsibility. I've taken an oath of office, my good friend, just like you did. I am concerned about the Constitution just as you are, and I would not engage in any behavior that could be described as idiot. Never in my life or my colleagues have we ever discussed behaving like idiots.
I mean, actually, I didn't call anybody an idiot. I said useful idiot. And secondly, I asked the witness whether he believed that as part of Vladimir Putin's strategy, Vladimir Putin was being aided by useful idiots in America.
We as a nation would be better served if elected officials like yourself concentrated your efforts to combat the true crises facing our country, as opposed to going down rabbit holes like this hearing. Instead of focusing on petty and personal politics, the committee focused on solving the challenges of this generation. Imagine how many people we could help, or how many lives we could save.
All right, so that's the Daily Caller's version. It's funny because they laughed about him when he finally got the report. He asked which page and so on. So a little more on this. We're going to move on to the next. I got a couple more articles just related to this. Lewandowski during this inquiry, so to speak, announced his Senate run. He announced that he was running for the Senate. Oh my gosh, it's just a clown show all around. On Tuesday, former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski announced a launch of his campaign website to bolster a potential run for the U.S. Senate while he was testifying in a Democrat hearing focused on the potential impeachment of President Donald Trump. In that hearing, Lewandowski defended Trump and mocked Hillary Clinton, earning praise from the president. The hearing focused on whether or not Trump committed obstruction of justice and deserves to be impeached for that reason. Lewandowski argued that illegal activity came from the other side of the aisle. Yeah, we're going to find that out. This hearing, and they're going to be pulling out all the stops because the indictments are coming. The Andrew McCabe being recommended to be indicted has already come. The report from the IG is in review right now. There's still John Durham's investigation regarding all of this crap during the election. And I'm still holding out hope that somebody in the line of all that happened is going to come out with proof that the DNC was not hacked by the Russians. I still am holding out because, the Mueller report said, that it was, they keep saying that phrase over. What is the phrase they use? That they, a systematic and concerted effort or whatever to interfere in the election. And the biggest part of that supposedly is the hacking of the DNC. Why would I still haven't figured out. Why does it make sense to any of you? Why would the Russians hack the DNC? Of all the things that the Russians can hack, why would they hack a political party when they could have hacked? Maybe it would have been a lot easier just to hack Hillary Clinton's server because it was unencrypted for 3 months, and they were on an AT&T server. It would have been way easier to hack that, wouldn't it? But then when they hack it, what do they come out with? Well, that the DNC had it in the bag for Clinton and was cheating Bernie Sanders? Really? That's what they were. Is that what they were looking for? Hacking the DNC? I mean, it's ridiculous. You're not going to find dirt on anybody by hacking the DNC, except for the fact that they cheated Bernie Sanders, which again, and remember, nobody ever talks about the actual information that was hacked, hacked or not hacked, because I still don't believe that they were hacked by the Russians. And they've provided no evidence they've been hacked by the Russians. They've provided no evidence that the troll farms were actually related to the Russian government. And they were told to stop saying that because a judge admonished the Mueller team. And the Mueller team had to backtrack on saying that they were guilty of these things that the Mueller team was saying they were guilty of. They had to change it to allegedly because they have no evidence. And in fact, in the hearing with the judge again about the troll farm, because one of the troll farm companies responded to the indictment. And they were going through discovery. And what they discovered is that the government has no evidence. And that's why the judge said, say that again, and we're going to hold you in contempt of court. So anyway, so this hearing is just all the stuff that's starting to come out. And, of course, the Democrats are saying, well, this is Trump being a dictator, and he's sicking his Department of Justice on, these poor FBI agents who are just doing their jobs, and poor Bruce Orr, who was just doing his job. But they were, it's all coming out, and the Democrats need to say, oh, look, something shiny over here. Come and look at this shiny thing. Let's see how many times we can say the word impeachment without actually going through a formal impeachment. And so that's what's going on. So that's why it's called an impeachment inquiry, because now the American public is hearing the word impeachment over and over and over, even though he's not being impeached. It's just like I was watching an interview. I was watching, or not, what was it? I was reading something about, it was an interview with Bernie Sanders. And some Bernie supporter was talking about, we're in this terrible recession right now with President Trump. And I'm like, what? What recession are you talking about, you moron? Now, there very well could be a recession coming up, but it's certainly not right now. Even he's talking about, we're the booming Obama economy, and now we're in a recession. Well, maybe you don't know the definition of recession. Did I just go on a tangent again? Jesus. All right. So anyway, the hearing focused on whether or not Trump committed obstruction of justice and deserves to be impeached for that reason. Lewandowski argued that illegal activity came from the other side of the aisle. Speaking of the Mueller investigation, he said, quote, "It is clear the investigation was populated by many Trump haters who had their own agenda to try to take down a duly elected president of the United States. As for actual collusion or conspiracy, there was none. What there has been, however, is harassment of this president from the day he won election." Absolutely. The word impeachment came out the day after he won the election. There were already people in Congress talking about impeaching the president. Trump praised Lewandowski's opening statement, tweeting, "Such a beautiful opening statement by Corey Lewandowski. Thank you, Corey." Quick, let's while I'm in between sentences, let's check the super chat here from C. Thomas with another $2. Thank you, sir. C. Thomas says in his super chat, "I think the DNC made a massive fuck up because of their corruption and needed to blame someone. Typical of the left, acting on feelings without a shred of evidence. I want to see them all hang in a political Minecraft, not actually hang in Minecraft, like figuratively hang." Thank you so much, C. Thomas, for the super chat, and I thank Johnny Hellcat again for you guys. I appreciate it. If you want to do super chats, make sure I read something you say. Diesel Dave just put the link in the chat, so there we go. So let's see. In that statement, in his opening statement, Lewandowski cast shade at former Secretary of State and former Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, saying that during his time as campaign manager, he received hundreds of thousands of emails, but he did not delete them. Oh, snap. I also received hundreds of thousands of emails, some days as many as 1,000 emails. And unlike Hillary Clinton, I don't think I ever deleted any of those, Lewandowski quipped. The hearing quickly devolved into chaos as Trump's former campaign manager attacked Democrats for making it an impeachment inquiry, and Democrats launched into anti-Trump rants. As former presidential candidate Eric Swalwell engaged in hostile questioning against him, Lewandowski mocked the former candidate by calling him President Swalwell. Anyway, so you saw all these highlights. I'm not going to go through them, but the President Swalwell, that was classic. All right, moving on. Let's see, a little Breitbart. Okay, this is another President Swalwell. I'll come back to that. I'll skip that one because we already know. We just saw it. You just saw call him President Swalwell. And I don't think Swalwell even heard it, but I know he's seen it now. He's seen it by now. Oh, and this is another one on didn't delete his email. So anyway, the clown show continues. And I don't know. Let's go on to something completely different. How about that, huh? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, here, actually, no, hang on a second. I do want to do this one before I move on, because this is kind of related. The article I pulled up, I'll do a full screen of this one, though. Oh, I messed up my full screen. Hold on 1 second here. Let me fix this so I give you a good solid view of what we're looking at. And what the heck did I do there? Hang on. All right, just a second here. A little technical difficulties, my apologies. I should put my elevator music on. Speaking of music, let's get this back in there. No. I don't. Oh, come on. That's not what I want. Hang on. All right, that'll work. And we'll get a list of things like that. And all right, there we go. All right. Let's see. This sounds like a 70s cop show, doesn't it? I kind of like this groove. All right. All right, let's get back into the articles because I wanted to do this one. As I hit the button, there we go. All right, this one, Democrats' impeachment obsession is a danger to democracy. Yeah, you're right, C. Thomas. Swalwell is NPC incarnate. Take it easy, C. Thomas. We'll see you later. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you so much for the super chats. Sad to say it, but Tom Steyer, out of touch and unlikable billionaire though he may be, is probably most representative of the face of the Democratic Party. Interesting way to put that. Then turn this down a little bit. All right. Almost since the day President Trump won the 2016 election, Steyer has been bawling like a toddler and insisting that Trump's prompt removal from office via impeachment is a moral and political imperative. He was way ahead of his time. I've added way, that's my own words. Steyer and his need to impeach movement offer a laundry list of reasons why Trump should be impeached and removed from office, from alleged obstruction of justice to violations of the Emoluments Clause, Russian collusion, racism, bigotry, reckless persecution of political opponents, and free press, mistreatment of immigrants, and paying hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels. You know what? If he were actually a dictator and he was persecuting political opponents, wouldn't they be in some dungeon somewhere? Okay, just thought of that. Or to put it another way, Steyer's rationale for impeachment is so diffuse that it's utterly incoherent. Steyer presumably is bargaining that if he throws everything but the kitchen sink at Trump, one of these charges, it doesn't matter which one, will stick and Trump will go down like a ton of bricks. Tom Steyer, for all his malevolent fury, is just a private citizen, albeit one who has plowed millions of dollars of his own money into a campaign to subvert American democracy. What's more worrying is that Steyer's no stone left unturned approach to impeaching President Trump now seems to be the official strategy of the House Judiciary Committee under Chairman Gerald Nadler. Nadler has made it clear that any anti-Trump narrative, no matter how obscure, laughable, or deficient in terms of evidence, is potentially acceptable and a pretext for impeachment. Again, he doesn't care much. He doesn't much care why Trump is impeached, just as long as he is. And that's just it. They are still replaying the 2016 election. And it's from day one, they said they want to impeach him. Okay? That's a problem. It's just a problem. I'm sorry. Now, though Democrats are taking their impeachment obsession to the next level, keen to remove Trump from the White House, they're beginning to apply their convoluted impeachment logic, quote unquote, to other political enemies. Their latest target is Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Even before Kavanaugh was confirmed last year, there are whispers among Democrats that if this alleged abuser of women should reach the nation's highest court, Congress would be entirely justified in impeaching and removing him. Never mind that the charges made against Kavanaugh were unsubstantiated. In fact, they were specifically rejected as untrue by many of the people who were present at the time of the alleged offense. May I add also that nothing that he's been supposedly charged with, which no one has corroborated, has anything to do with his 30 years on the bench. And it's funny how nothing ever came up of any of this before and any other time when he was being approved as a judge, which is several times. Anyway, no matters. The new standard proof for Republicans and conservatives only is that if someone claims you did something wrong, you most assuredly did. Moreover, if you deny it or if you defend your honor publicly, you are merely compounding your sins with lies. The definition of lies being facts that Democrats and liberals do not wish to hear. The suggestion last year that Kavanaugh should be impeached because of Christine Blasey Ford's politically motivated and uncorroborated accusation was outrageous, given the hallowed principle of American justice that we are all innocent until proven guilty. Now, though, prominent Democrats are escalating. Presidential candidates Kamala Harris, Democrat California, Elizabeth Warren, Democrat Massachusetts, and Bernie Sanders, socialist, Vermont, even though they put a D in front of his name, among others, are calling for Kavanaugh's impeachment anew because a biased news story appeared in the New York Times, alleging another incident in which Kavanaugh was supposed to have mistreated another young woman. The Times neglected to mention that the woman in question has no recollection of her own mistreatment. Oh, well, yeah, I think we talked about this yesterday. The truth or falsehood of the latest accusation against Kavanaugh is, of course, irrelevant to his tormentors. They know only things about Kavanaugh. They know only two things about Kavanaugh for certain: that he is a bad man in the eyes of feminists who made him the poster boy for sexual assault, despite the fact that he's never been charged or convicted with any crime, including crimes against women, and that he is a bad Supreme Court justice in the eyes of progressives who believe that the real function of the court is to mandate nationwide obedience to the agenda of the left whenever that agenda cannot be, for practical reasons, advanced through legislation or executive action instead. The moral of the story seems to be this: in the banana republic or pseudo-democracy that leftists are trying to establish, impeachment, like every other legal and constitutional tradition, exists only to help them crush their enemies and consolidate power. In other words, leftists want to transform impeachment from a tool to punish abuses of power into a tool to facilitate such abuses and in effect criminalize dissent. So there's more in this, but that's the gist of it. If you want to read the whole thing, there it is in the chat. I'll put that out there. You can right-click it and save it for later. So yeah, it's now they're trying to procedurally find ways to get rid of the people they don't like. And I don't know. I hope the American people are seeing through it. I don't know. Mobile media about to drop off. What does that mean? Oh, am I losing frames, man? Is this thing working? Huh. It says, let's see, YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Well, hopefully you can hear me okay. I guess I'm getting some bumpy road there. That's weird because I've even plugged into the hardwire internet, not using my Wi-Fi. So I think I still need to add a video card, maybe a sound card to this computer just to maybe smooth this out a little bit. But anyway, all right, let's keep going here because I got some more articles to go through. Now this is weird. The Arizona Democratic Party has decided that they are going to they're going to have a vote to censure Senator Sinema. Now, she's a Democrat from Arizona. When John McCain died, they had a special election and she won. Arizona Democratic Party is planning to hold a vote this week to determine whether Senator Kristen Sinema, Democrat Arizona, should be censured. Basically, it's a tongue lashing. It's just a formal way to admonish somebody for wrongdoing without any criminal things or anything. Good morning, Truck and Bear, by the way. Good morning, Evil One. And okay, I think I got everybody. The Arizona Republic reports the censure vote is due to the fact that progressives in the state Democratic Party see her as too accommodating to President Trump and his policies. Those seeking to censure Sinema point to her vote to confirm David Bernhardt, Trump's appointee, to serve as the Secretary of the Interior, as well as her vote to confirm William Barr as the Attorney General, the news outlet notes. Additionally, progressives in the Arizona Democratic Party cite Sinema's resistance to joining fellow Democrats in trying to reinstate net neutrality rules to prevent internet service providers from throttling websites. Dan O'Neill, the state's coordinator for Progressive Democrats of America, told the news outlet that the censure is an effort to push Sinema back towards the left. Even when you got it right on the nose, wrong think. But here's the thing. And this is him saying, here's the thing. We really support Kristen Sinema. We want her to succeed. We want her to be the best senator in the country, O'Neill said. By the way, she is voting is really, that's really weird to say that. By the way she is voting is really disappointing. We want Democrats to vote like Democrats and not like Republicans. Now, get this. The funny part of this is her voting record. Okay, so they're saying she votes too much, way too much for Trump, like Trump, right? Now, remember, Arizona is a red state, too. Sinema won barely over whoever I can't remember, Martha somebody, can't remember the name. But remember, she's taking John McCain's seat. Okay, so kind of a pseudo-Republican seat. But anyway, so 538's Trump tracker found that Sinema opposed Trump during her time in the Senate 81% of the time. She opposed Trump 81% of the time, but that's not good enough for the Social Democrats of Arizona. 81%. Now, during her time in the House, where she served 3 terms, she supported Trump's agenda 54% of the time. Felicia Rodolini, the Arizona Democratic Party's chairwoman, said the censure will be heard, but unsure it will pass. We are a diverse group, and that means diversity of thought as well, Rodolini said. Yeah, right. I don't think it reflects poorly on the party at all. I don't think it's an indication of a fracture. I think it's an indication of a group of people who think differently and have a different perspective on the same topic. Wait, let me read. I'm going to read the first sentence again because I think this is hilarious. We are a diverse group, and that means diversity of thought as well. Okay, what's the letter you put in the chat usually for doubt? F for doubt or something like that? Put an F for doubt if you think there's a doubt there. Anyway, the vote's being held Saturday during the party's quarterly meeting. Rodolini and O'Neill told the news outlet that the language for the censure is still being finalized. The Hill has reached out to Sinema for comment. So the fact that they're still deciding on the language of the censure, that's kind of a big deal when your party censures you, meaning it's a rebuke, basically. Oh, X for doubt. Yeah, X for doubt. Thank you. Whatever that is. Sinema beat out Senator Martha McSally for the seat for the Senate in 2018 in a close race. She won by less than 2 percentage points. McSally was later appointed by Senator Doug Ducey to fill the seat vacated by former Senator John McCain. Because I got that wrong. So McSally is a senator, but she lost to Sinema by 2 percentage points. Anyway, yeah. She votes against Trump 81% of this time, but the Arizona Democratic Party is going to hold a vote to censure her. Great job, Democrats. Nice. Okay, let me do a little quick shield because I haven't done it yet. I'm making a commercial for this to make it easier so I can just click and it'll be a commercial and then I can get myself caught up and then caught back. But for now, I'm going to shill in person. So thank you everybody who's here today. I appreciate you here at the Morning Night Live. We are here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. And if you haven't already done so, or if you're new to the show, please make sure you subscribe. That's right down here. And also down here is the share button. That share little arrow that says share under it. That's the most important button on YouTube right now because YouTube doesn't share videos of people like me or streams of people like me because they don't like you talking about news or political commentary at all because they think the corporate media is much more important. So if you could share this out, either on Twitter or Facebook or wherever you share stuff, that would be great. Also, while you're here, if you like what I'm doing, click that little thumbs up there. That's the like button. Oh, and if you subscribe, make sure you click the bell to make sure you get notifications. And then again, I've already mentioned we do super chats via the Streamlabs link in the description down below, or Diesel Dave has been putting it in the chat periodically. So I appreciate that, Diesel Dave. Thanks to my mods. Thanks for C. Thomas and Johnny Hellcat so far with the super chats. And thanks to all of you for participating. And if you're listening at work or just lurking just because you like to lurk, I'm very happy with that too. Thanks for being here. All right, let's move on to my next article. Now this is one that was sent to me yesterday. Let me remember who sent this to me. By the way, thank you, Angel Tibbs, Truck and Bear, Johnny Hellcat, everyone who's retweeting out the the stream today. I really appreciate that. Also, yesterday I got this from, I got it from Kingslayer, Damocles. I'm trying to get that right. I can't say it. But I thought this was an interesting article. Thank you for sending it to me. By the way, if you want to send me articles, that's the other part of my shill that I forgot. Also, right here, right along here, down there, that's my Twitter handle, @Dawg Knight. I'm on Twitter. Mine's in Gab as those things. Gab seems to be back up today. I don't use Gab a lot, but hey, I check it every once in a while. Also, Instagram, @YesThatMarty. But if you want to send me things, my Twitter DMs are open, or you can email me. Take that @PDawgKnight, move the @ to the end, pdawgknight@gmail.com. So I do that, and this is one of those articles that were sent to me yesterday. Grieving dad jailed for repeatedly criticizing court system in Macomb County. Now this is fascinating. So he lost a custody battle, then he lost his then his son lost his life. He blames the court system. He voiced his strong opinions on social media, and the next thing he knew, he was locked in jail. He was so full of life, said Deborah Vanderhagen of her grandson. I'm trying not to cry. On September 22nd, it will be the 2-year anniversary of the day that Deborah Vanderhagen's grandson, Killian, lost his life. She believes her son, Jonathan Vanderhagen, is justified in feeling the court cost her grandson his life, and he died in the custody of his mom after her son asked for sole custody. His lawyer said something's going to happen to this child. You need to get him away from the mother. There are too many red flags, and the judge said, "Oh, that is in the past," said Deborah Vanderhagen. The police report filed after 2-year-old Killian died shows he had previous medical condition, and investigators did not believe there was evidence that Killian's mother was responsible. His dad felt otherwise and repeatedly posted criticism of the judge who presided over his case and friend of the court on his Facebook page. Judge Rachel Rancillo saw the posts, many of which are publicly targeted at her. She apparently felt uncomfortable and possibly threatened. She did not hear the custody hearing, which was handled by a court referee. The Macomb County Sheriff's Office responded and found he criticized what Judge Rachel Rancillo pinned on Pinterest as in his opinion inappropriate. Posted video saying he feels she and others were responsible for Killian's death and blamed the court system for his loss. The investigative report also says at no time did he threaten or harm violence. Still, he was charged with malicious use of telecommunications services and released on bond. Then he made more posts, such as one that reads, "Dada back to digging, and you best believe I'm going to dig up all the skeletons in this court's closet." The judge ruled he violated his bond conditions. He is now in jail on $500,000 bond. Now, apparently, so he's basically in jail for criticizing the court. The judge maybe thinks I don't know. The judge seems to think it was threatening, but apparently, I don't know. I'm reading that and I'm like, well, I don't know. Yeah. She's absolutely violating the first part of the free speech. The thing that, and I got to look at the 8th Amendment part of this too. Maybe you can put that. Tell me something in the chat there, King Damocles. Or Kingslayer, Damocles, because apparently the possible sentence for whatever it is he's doing would be like $1,000 or maybe a short time in jail, but he's on $500,000 bond. That's really weird. Anyway, his mom says she feels he is simply exercising his right to free speech. He wants justice. He didn't want to kill anybody. He don't want anybody physically hurt. He wants them to acknowledge what they've done and get justice, said Deborah Vanderhagen. So the jury trial for that is scheduled for September 13th. The max punishment on that is 6 months and $1,000. So he's getting a $500,000 bond on something where the maximum penalty is 6 months and $1,000. Incredible. Hopefully it help me if this is somewhere near you where you live, maybe you could help me keep up on this story. I would love to see the update when they actually have a trial for this story. That just sounds crazy to me. All right, next article. I'll get this one more in here. So let's see which one I want to do here. Oh yeah, I definitely want to do this one. Let's see what's the other ones here. Okay, yeah, real quick, I'll just do this one. So, gun store. We talked about Beto being salesman of the month for the AR-15. Excuse me. There's a gun store owner in Arizona who had the Beto, hell yes, Beto sale, Beto specials on AR-15s, and he sold out of AR-15s and AK-47s. I don't even think AK-47s are legal in every state, but apparently they are in Arizona, and he had a sale and sold out of them. So anyway, that's funny. All right, let's get to this story, though. This is what I'm going to do before we get to Twitter trends. Because I thought this was weird. Well, I'm interesting how CNN writes an article about this story. So this is the hot air version. Self-defense via assault weapon. 3 masked teens open fire on Georgia homeowner and don't live to regret it. Real quick, let me get before I move on, let me get this super chat out of the way. Oh, Brad Marion, what's up? Thank you for the $2, but you didn't say anything. I'm so glad you're here, though. Brad Marion is the greatest deliverer of bread puns, or should I say bread buns? Anyway, thank you, Brad Barry. I appreciate the super chat via the Streamlabs link, which is in the description down below. Hey, so here it is. So kudos to CNN for covering this story out of Georgia, especially now. This is Hot Air, which is that's a right of center site that mostly conservatives write for Hot Air. They're semi-automatic perfectly. I thought you could convert AKs to. I thought they had a burst fire switch or a fully automatic switch. So maybe they don't. Maybe the ones they sell are strictly semi-automatic. So I didn't know that. Again, I'm not a gun guy, but I'm learning. All right, so kudos to CNN for covering the story out of Georgia, especially in this political atmosphere. As politicians insist so-called assault weapons are not legitimate self-defense firearms, one man may have proven them wrong. Police now believe that a homeowner armed with a semi-automatic rifle acted in self-defense in killing 3 teenage intruders after they opened fire on him. Now, I'm not going to read that excerpt. So I'm going to read to you how CNN wrote this article, because it's kind of deceptive knowing that people don't read, okay? They read headlines, they might read the first paragraph, and it kind of pissed me off when I went to read the CNN article. So anyway, that's the gist of it. Let's go to the CNN article, because here's the thing. Very clearly in this article by Hot Air, the 3 masked teens opened fire on the Georgia homeowner. Okay, and so he fired back. Now, let's watch how CNN writes this article. This is annoying as hell. First of all, here's the headline. A Georgia man shot and killed 3 masked teens as they tried to rob him at his home, police say. Something, here, let me make this full screen so you can see it, I'm sorry. Something is missing with the way they wrote that. Georgia man shot and killed 3 masked teens as they try to rob his home. So it seems like just if you only read the headline, you'd be like, wow, did he need to kill them? Did he need to shoot and kill them? Now let's read the first paragraph. A Georgia homeowner shot and killed 3 teens as they approached his residence with their faces covered, authorities said. A Georgia homeowner shot and killed 3 teens as they approached his residence with their faces covered. That sounds like, oh my gosh, some kids had their faces covered. They were approaching your home. Okay, now let's move on, because if you only read that much, you think, oh, this guy just killed these kids in cold blood, right? Let's move on. The masked teens, a 15-year-old and 2 16-year-olds, approached 3 residents around 4 a.m. Monday at the front yard of a home just outside Conyers and tried to rob them, the Rockville County Sheriff's Office said. Okay. That's 2 paragraphs. Third paragraph. Oh, now finally in the third paragraph, one of the would-be robbers took out a gun and fired shots at them before one of the residents returned fire. What's this article headline say? A man shot and killed 3 teens as they tried to rob him at his home, police say. The lead paragraph. A Georgia homeowner shot and killed 3 teens as they approached his residence with their faces covered. What? In the third, then you mean one of the would-be robbers took out a gun and fired shots at him before he returned fire and was a better shot? The victims of the attempted robbery were all uninjured, but the 3 attempted robbery suspects were all shot during the exchange of gunfire and succumbed to their injuries, 1 on the scene and 2 at a local hospital after being transported, the sheriff's department said in a news release. One neighbor heard someone asking for help, he told CNN. Now, let's just watch the clip here that CNN puts out here, because there's something interesting in this clip too. You know, now look, if someone's attempting to rob my house and then they're firing shots at me and I have a weapon, I'm sure as hell going to shoot back. And if I kill them, okay, you're gonna come rob me and shoot at me? You don't think that's self-defense to shoot back and kill somebody? You don't get to choose how much force you get to do. And I don't care if it's equal and opposite. If they're coming at me with a knife and I have a gun, I'm still going to shoot them, because that's protecting myself and potential family members in my house. Okay? Now, here's the CNN story. Hopefully it'll play right away.
I was scared. My ears was ringing. That first shot had my ears ringing.
This lady was cool.
Williams told us she hit her bedroom floor when she heard gunshots just feet from her window overnight.
My room is right here. I'm right here by it.
Rockdale County Sheriff's deputies spent hours Monday collecting evidence on White Oak Court after a man who lives in this home shot and killed 3 masked teenagers he confronted on the front lawn.
He's a nice dude. He's a nice, caring dude. If they would have knocked on the door and asked him for anything, he would have gave it to them. He's a nice dude.
Earlier, while investigators worked the scene,
He didn't have to kill them.
frustrated.
Okay, now these teens are coming. He didn't have to kill them. They were shooting at him. What do you mean he didn't have to kill them? He didn't have to kill them. Yes, he
Investigators
did.
worked the scene.
He didn't have to kill them.
Frustration from this group, who wouldn't give their names, but told my colleague Sophia Choi they're related to one of the teens who died.
That's not how it's supposed to go. I understand one shot to stop the people, the victims or whatever, but
it's not how it's supposed to go.
Shoot.
It's not how it's supposed to go. Oh no, he's supposed to be able to rob him, right? And be able to maybe hit him with those shots you're firing at him, huh? That's not how it's supposed to go.
These little teens, that's an overkill. That's too much to handle.
You know what? You don't have time to figure out they're teens. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. How do you know it's some teens? Someone's shooting a gun at you. You don't know it's a teen. You know, that's why I always get mad about when people bring up Tamir Rice. Tamir Rice, and it's a tragic thing that Tamir Rice got killed when he's pointing a toy gun at people, right? You don't have time to find out if that gun is real. If the police are called saying that someone's pointing a gun at people, and when the police come up, he points the gun at the police, and it doesn't have that orange cap on the front, it's a gun. You don't take chances, because what if it was a real gun? What if it was an adult? The kid's 5'7", 180 pounds. He looks like an adult. Same with these kids. There is no overkill. I'm sorry. Those kids are going to rob somebody at 4 a.m. in the dark, firing a gun at you. Okay? This is the what is it? This is the what's the rule? Play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Darwin Awards, I don't know. Don't shoot at people and don't try to rob them, and you'll never get killed. At least not by that way. I'm just saying. Anyway, I've had enough of that. All right. moving on. You get the gist. That's why I'm pissed at that CNN article. That's just a joke. I mean, it's like the first, if you read the headline and maybe the first line, you'd be like, oh my God, he killed some teenagers? Some poor little 15 and 16-year-old kids who were wearing masks? I'm sure it was just Halloween and they were at a costume party at 4 a.m. while they're shooting a gun at him. Yeah, you don't raise, yeah, exactly. You don't ask the age. And yes, Kingslayer, you're absolutely right. A knife is deadly force and responding to the gun is definitely self-defense. Absolutely. But there's some people who would say, well, they were coming at me with a knife. You didn't have to shoot them. Yeah, I did. You know how quickly someone can kill you with a knife? It's much more accurate, especially if they get close to you. All right, now let's move on. Thank you, Super Gamer, by the way, for retweeting the show out this morning. I appreciate it. Let's get into Twitter trends. Let's see what's happening in the world. Let's see what people are going to be talking about today. Although I got a feeling that one of the big topics today is going to be Corey Lewandowski, just because everyone's already talking about it, and especially most of the articles are out today. We'll see. I'm sure you'll see a lot about that today. But on Twitter trends, let's start out with number one, which is National. It's National Cheeseburger Day. Who decides these days, man? It's National for the millions of Americans who work, often at very low wages, often with no benefits, and under the stress of short staffs and demanding customers and bosses. In-N-Out Burger pays managers $160,000 a year. The industry can do better. Cheeseburger Day. Okay, someone's complaining that In-N-Out managers make $160,000 per year. This is U.S. State. In-N-Out managers make $160,000 per year. When thinking six-figure salaries, flipping burgers may not come to mind, but In-N-Out, the cult favorite of fast food chains, sees its store managers earning over $160,000 on average. In-N-Out is just eons above everybody else. Saru Jarariman, director of UC Berkeley Food Research Center, told the California Sun, on wages and benefits, they really are the best large chain. The Sun first reported In-N-Out's eye-popping figure, which the Irvine, California-based chain confirmed to USA Today. In-N-Out workers can start at 13 hours, minimum wage is 11 in California's larger companies, and work their way up to that $160,000-ish salary without a college degree. Managers oversee only one location each, according to the Bay Area's KTVU News, and ultimately become responsible for all aspects of the restaurant, from employee training to the cleanliness of countertops. The gig's no cakewalk, though. A top review of In-N-Out employees from an employee on Glassdoor at jobs listing site notes that fast-paced environment with very hard work and no shortcuts. Well, good for In-N-Out Burger if they can do it, because their store-to-store sales, I'm sure a lot of that is dependent on reaching their comparable sales from year to year and growing that particular business. In-N-Out Burgers also are pretty, since they're such a uniform restaurant, it's probably not easy to, but it's efficient and probably don't have a lot of food cost issues. And so, yeah, their sales are probably pretty high because they're very efficient. I love it. Oh man, they make a great burger too. So that's pretty cool. Okay, but being National Cheeseburger Day, of course, we get to hear about In-N-Out Burger managers' salaries. Let's see. Have a meatless burger, save the planet, save a cow. Yeah, I'm sure Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is not happy about National Cheeseburger Day. Too early for cheeseburger? Look, cheeseburger. From Sal. Here it is.
Look, cheeseburger.
Anyway, that's classic Saturday Night Live skit. If you've never seen the cheeseburger skit, it's pretty hilarious. But do not ask for a Coke. No Coke. Pay Pepsi. Oh, here we go. In a blind taste test, it's pretty close. Watch this former factory farmer try an Impossible Burger for the first time. There are pretty decent fake-ass cheeseburgers made from plant proteins and stuff. Not too bad. Actually, I shop at Sam's Club, and they have... I prefer Coke 2, Longfish, I'm just saying. Actually, there's a... I bought these at Sam's Club. They're these, like, black bean and corn, whatever, burger patties that are actually really good, but nothing beats a really, really good burger. I like Smash Burger. In fact, everyone put your favorite fast burger chain in the chat. I know a lot of people, if you're down in like Texas, I hear Whataburger's really good. I love In-N-Out Burger when I'm out west. Culver's in the upper Midwest are really good. And also Smash Burger. I know some people like Five Guys. I've never had a good experience out of Five Guys. A lot of people love them, but I just never have had one. But definitely Smash Burger, Culver's, In-N-Out Burger, Whataburger, and what's the one? Wahlburgers. The ones that I've had, the Hy-Vee chains have Wahlburgers in their market grills, but the actual Wahlburgers out east are supposed to be really good too. So there you go. All right. From National Cheeseburger Day, we go to number 2, which is Wednesday Wisdom, followed by Wednesday Thoughts at number 3. We're going to stick to Wednesday Wisdom. Let's try to find one really good Wednesday Wisdom. Oh, Scott Pressler. Now, Scott Pressler is the dude who organized the cleanup in Baltimore, Maryland, and they've gone out there twice. Oh, Jason, you know about Runza Hut? Jason Burns, are you in Nebraska? I dig Runza, but Runza's not really a burger. Runza is like a giant hot pocket with hamburger and like cabbage and onions inside. It is. Those are great. And you can get Runza with cheese. Jason Burns, how are you, by the way? And Marsupial Gamer, how are you too? Good, nice to see you guys here. Jason Burns, where are you from? Come on now. You got to be from somewhere near Nebraska, because that's where the Runza Huts are. Okay. Let's see here. Anyway, back to Scott Pressler for Wednesday Wisdom. He's the guy who organized the Baltimore cleanups, and he's done it in a couple other cities too. He says the same Democrat crowd that didn't speak up against Harvey Weinstein is the same Democrat crowd who didn't stop Ed Buck from allegedly injecting blacks, is the same Democrat crowd who chooses illegal aliens over Americans. Are you awake? ? Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, the Ed Buck story. That's a terrible story, man. Terrible story. What did happen there? Oh, I see. It just refreshed. But let's find an actual Wednesday Wisdom. You reap what you sow. Always do your best. What you plant now, you will harvest later. Okay, that's a good Wednesday Wisdom. Let's move on. We're not going to do Wednesday Thoughts, but I'm sure there'll be a Wednesday Thought somewhere in the Twitter trends today. Sirfetch'd is trending. Sirfetch'd and its giant leaks are joining the Pokemon Sword roster. Okay, if you're into Pokemon, Sirfetch'd is coming. Wednesday Motivation, I'm going to skip that. Farfetch'd, that has something to do with Pokemon also. Okay, is this a big Pokemon day? Are there a bunch of new Pokemons out? Are you any of you Pokemon Go people? Juicy Lucy's. Oh, you must be from somewhere near Minneapolis. Juicy Lucy's are like in Minnesota, western Wisconsin, North Dakota. That's people. It's not a chain, but it's a style of burger. I don't know if it in theory, I'm just saying in theory because this is the rumor that the Juicy Lucy was invented in Minneapolis, and that's why they spread out from there, and you're seeing them all over the Midwest in relation to the Twin Cities. Anyway, Rock and Roll runs for 2 years. Knew the owners, grew up in Lincoln, and lived in Omaha. Well, I grew up in Omaha, so that's why I know what Runzas are. So anyway, all right, Red Robins are pretty good too. Okay, keep putting them in. Keep putting your favorite burger chains up there. I like seeing these, especially if I travel. Tell me what region of the country it is too, just for the other people to chat, so they know. All right, okay, so Farfetch'd has got to be a Pokemon thing. Yeah, it is. And then Liar Lewandowski's trending. Oh, okay. Well, Interesting. So CNN, okay, I don't know why they put that at the top of this trend. New Day, why would you put your viewers through this? I just watched this clip. Why would you put yourself through this? Liar Lewandowski. Okay. Liar Lewandowski and New Day puts this clown on TV again hours after he admits he lies to the media. This is pathetic. Yeah, he said something about he doesn't feel any obligation to tell the truth to the media because the media doesn't tell the truth half the time. Look, if he doesn't tell the truth to the media all the time, pot meet the kettle, baby. And the kettle is like one of those. Okay, have you ever heard of a booyah? Okay, now not like booyah the same, but a booyah. It's they do these in St. Paul all the time, where they take these giant kettles and they put like this big, on a fire, and everyone just brings meat and throws it in the booyah, and it's just this giant thing, and they cook it, and then everyone eats the booyah. Pot meet the booyah kettle. I'm telling you. CNN is wrong for bringing on this bum-ass liar. Okay, so apparently Lewandowski is on New Day this morning. So everyone's going to talk about liar Lewandowski. Oh, here we go. Yanked a female reporter to the ground in public. That is a lie. Are they talking about Michelle? What's her name? Oh my God. That's a lie. Joy Villa accused him of making unwanted sexual contact. I'm not familiar with that case. I did not know that. Carried on an extramarital affair with Hope Hicks. Did he do that? I don't know. I don't like Lewandowski. I think he's a jackass. I just think he made the Judicial Committee look like bigger jackasses than he is. Made fun of a kid with Down syndrome. I don't know that, and admits he lies. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's running for the Senate. I was not thrilled with the idea that he's running for the Senate and wherever the hell he's from either. I think he's a bit of a jackass, but still, he did. He made the Democrats look like assholes. I'm sorry. They're little. Okay, so, he was on with Allison Camerata. Well, Allison Camerata shuts him down because she doesn't let people talk. Okay, all right. So anyway, that's why he's, like I said, we're gonna be talking about him a lot. Dummy Beto. Why is it trending with Robert? Okay, Robert O'Brien will serve as President Trump's fourth national security advisor, replacing John Bolton. Okay. I see, because he called Beto O'Rourke Dummy Beto. Oh my God, Dummy Beto made it much harder to make a deal. Convinced many that Dems just want to take your guns away. We'll continue forward. Okay. Honestly, I'm relieved that Dummy Beto is something that Trump said. I was expecting Twitter to be saying really weird sexual things about Beto, and I was not ready for that before 10 a.m. First, real Donald Trump slips with using Sleepy Joe instead of Creepy Joe. Now he misses the opportunity to use Beta Beto, or just Beta, and instead uses Dummy Beto. I give a 3 for 10 for nicknames. Yeah, he blew it on Creepy Joe. But I think here's why I think he said Sleepy Joe instead of Creepy Joe. Is that I don't think he wanted to. I don't know if he. I think he just thinks Joe's old and senile and just wanted to make it more of him being old and senile. Sleepy Joe. Creepy Joe, yeah, you can. Because Joe could change the other behavior, but he can't change being close to being senile. So Sleepy Joe's can stick a little longer. Anyway, all right, so whatever, Dummy Beto. Something Trump said's trending, imagine that. Now here's the one I wanted to get to. Ed Buck. And I'm surprised he's not trending even higher. According to the Los Angeles Times, prominent Democratic donor Ed Buck was charged with 3 felony counts and could face up to 5 years and 8 months in prison. Now, first of all, 5 years and 8 months. There have been dead people found in his home. Dead black people. And so I'm surprised. Some black people are up in arms about it. Okay, so according to the LA Times, prominent California donor Ed Buck was charged with battery causing injury, operating a drug house, and providing methamphetamine to a 37-year-old who overdosed at his home in West Hollywood last week. Buck has faced scrutiny in the past year as several mysterious drug-related deaths at his home. He should be charged with murder. That's what I don't get. How is he only being charged for something that could put him in jail for 5 years, 6 months, or whatever the hell they just said? Here, let's go to the Los Angeles Times, or excuse me, CBS Los Angeles article. Ed Buck charged with running a drug den in West Hollywood apartment. Prominent Democratic donor and LGBTQ plus political activist Ed Buck was charged Tuesday with running a drug den out of his West Hollywood apartment and providing methamphetamine to a 37-year-old man who suffered an overdose last week, the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office said. Buck, 65, was charged with 1 felony count each of battery, causing serious injury, administering methamphetamine, and maintaining a drug house. Now, mind you, 2 men have already been found dead in his home. He called the police and they took 2 dead people out of his house. This is the third. According to the DA's office, Buck was accused with injecting the victim with methamphetamine at the defendant's apartment on the 1200 block of Laurel Avenue in West Hollywood. The man did survive. So this one survived. The charges come after 2 other men died of drug overdoses at Buck's, dating back to 2017, prompted community outrage and called for his arrest. He's a huge Democratic donor. Could you imagine if, let's say, David Koch, before he died, that's an appropriate name for this article, was found with 2 dead black men in his apartment, died of drug overdoses. Do you think for 1 second he wouldn't have already been in jail? I remain deeply concerned for the safety of people whose life circumstances may make them more vulnerable to criminal predators, Los Angeles County District Attorney Jackie Lacey said in a statement. Well, what about the 2 dead guys? With this new evidence, I authorized the filing of criminal charges against Ed Buck. Prosecutors recommended bail be set at $4 million in a motion that called Buck a violent, dangerous sexual predator who mainly preys on men made vulnerable by addiction and homelessness. Get him hopped up and then he fuck him. The motion went on to say that Buck used the bait of narcotics, money, and shelter to lure victims to his home where, in a position of power, Buck manipulates his victims into participating in his sexual fetishes. According to the motion, Buck's actions led to the death of two men. It's funny how if this would have been anyone else that's not a Democratic donor, they would have said 2 black men. Because it would have been a white guy killing 2 black men. Because this is a donor, so they're not gonna say he's black. They're black men. In Buck's apartment, Gamel Moore and Timothy Dean. Moore died in Buck's home in July 2017. The coroner's office said drug paraphernalia was found at the scene and ruled the death an accidental methamphetamine overdose. Then on January 7, 2019, a second man, 55-year-old Timothy Dean of West Hollywood, was also found dead in Buck's home. His death was also ruled an accidental meth overdose. What a coincidence! Amazing coincidence that it happened again in this dude's... Jesus Christ. Anyway, he's going to be arraigned on Wednesday, and there's more shit about the article. Ed fucking Buck. That dude. Well, at least he's finally gotten arrested. If you follow Black Twitter, they know about this dude. You may not even have heard of him. So he's trending, finally. What else here? This would be the lead story on every news site in America if the headline said Republican donor. Well, it finally made it to CNN, which is amazing. I wonder how many other national outlets are even covering this. Here's a picture of Ed Buck and Ted Lieu. It's a real picture. Ed Buck was arrested today for crimes against black men. 2 men have died from ODing with Buck. His fetish was drugging black men. Spike Cernovich. Oh, man. the persistent Scott Pressler, the same Democrat. Okay, yeah, the same Democrat who didn't stop Ed Buck. Yeah, he should be trending, and I'm kind of hoping that woke Twitter sees this shit. Yes, that's Ed Buck, and that's Ed Buck going to jail. Yes, Slay Queen. All right. So anyway, good. Ed Buck belongs in jail, motherfucker. All right, Ryan Clark is trending. Who is he? Is he a baseball player? I think so. No. What? Ryan Clark was not having it from Paul Finebaum this morning when he praised declining Eli Manning and trashed declining Cam Newton. Ooh, okay. Cam Newton's hurt. Eli Manning just is declining. I don't know. All right, so that's sports. I would get into that, but I'll laugh about it later. All right, what do we got? Leonard Coleman. Who is that? Leonard Coleman, Riley Children's Hospital. Leonard Coleman, Indy Humane Society. Leonard Coleman. My answer. Oh, what now? The thing about Leonard Coleman is that everyone is missing is that we are on the verge of runaway climate change, and we need a complete rethink of the global economy to ensure a just society and avoid planetary catastrophe. And they got you all scared. They got you all so scared. Holy shit. Oh, a sad pull for Ed Buck. Ooh. Oh, my. I wonder if he... Well, it just depends on how much he donated to the Clintons. Hey, Pirate Pete and Talon Blood Rain. I just noticed you're here, too. Good morning. Welcome to Morning Night Live. I'm glad you're here. Leonard... I don't know what Leonard... What is... Okay, so apparently, did Leonard Coleman... I don't know who this is. Did he ask something about... Well, here, let's see. It's okay, here we go. Here it is. Trivia, December 7th, 1986. A day that will live in infamy for Atlanta fans. Unbelievable calls, penalties, plays, and final minute. Colts take lead with 20 seconds remaining, and 17 seconds later, Atlanta is on Indy's 12-yard line. Which Colt broke up Falcons' final pass for the Colts win? And that would be Leonard Coleman. Okay. Does Jim Irsay do a... Oh, I see. He must do a trivia on Twitter, and then the winner gets a donation to their charity that they want. So Leonard Coleman is the answer to that question. All right, that's why it's trending. All right. Moving on. Dwight Hicks. Who's that? Okay, the same thing. I doesn't care. Sandy Hook Promise. All right, this is going to be the last one for today. A powerful new back-to-school video by Sandy Hook shows kids using regular school items for protection during a shooting. Really?
For studying.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These council binders help me stay organized. These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too. These new socks? They can be a real lifesaver.
Wow. Is this really a PSA?
I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
You know, wow. That is, God, you're just trying to put fear in people to fit a political agenda. Do you know, yes, school shootings have happened since the age of this country. I mean, there's been school shootings forever, but it's extremely rare. Do you know how many schools there are in this country? I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many primary, elementary schools, middle schools, high schools there are in this country. It's just, I can't even talk right now, and I gotta go. That's so bad. That is so bad. Having lost a brother in Sandy Hook shooting, I want it to be clear that the Sandy Hook Promise doesn't speak for me. The organization is run by 2 families of the victims, but most of us stay far away. They don't make that clear. We had to write a joint statement at one point. New PSA from Sandy Hook Promise this morning, highlighting the fear and anxiety kids across the U.S. will face this fall. Do you know why they have the fear and anxiety across the U.S.? Because you make it sound like these happen every day and it's going to happen in every school. There are thousands of schools in every state, and a couple dog bite man events. You're putting fear in kids. This makes me mad. It makes and don't if you hear this that I said this and you come at me with, well, are you mad about school shootings? Yeah, I'm mad about school shootings too. Yes, absolutely. I think that anyone who engaged one should be in jail, possibly life penalty, possibly death penalty. That's not the point. It's such an extremely rare occurrence as opposed to the other 15,000 murders every year that are happening mostly in cities, in city centers, in communities that you try to make them scared of the police instead of figuring out how to stop people from killing each other, or making them scared of a school shooter. That's less. You don't make kids scared of riding in a car, but there's certainly more car deaths in every state every day than there are school shootings in a year. You don't make kids scared of being in a bathtub when people die in bathtubs more than in school shootings. You don't make kids fear the rain because they could get hit by lightning, which is more common than someone getting killed in a school shooting. Yes, we got to figure out how to stop people from being idiots and killing people. But it's an agenda. It is an agenda that, you know what? You're highlighting the fear. You're exacerbating the fear. Sandy Hook Promise commercial shouldn't even need to be made. The right will tear it down and the left will praise it. But my God, what a society we have brought up here in the U.S. when something like this is necessary. It's not necessary. That's just it. Quit highlighting these assholes who do it and quit giving more ideas. The 67-second ad is the latest in a series of gut-wrenching videos by the school safety advocacy group, Sandy Hook Promise. Yeah, they're not, like that other person said, it's 2 families pushing this bullshit. You fear we'll take your guns. We fear guns will take our kids. Why? What's the chances? You're not talking to legal gun owners, are you? Why? What does taking guns from legal, law-abiding gun owners have to do about guns taking your kids? Illegal guns take your kids. Stolen guns take your kids. And they don't. Man bites dog. It's not powerful. It's pathetic. That's a terrible ad. It's incredibly incendiary. And it's bullshit. My God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know what? And yeah, they're doing lockdown drills. You don't need to do lockdown drills in school. Sorry. You know, I remember the tornado drills in school, but that's a rare occurrence too. They don't notice that they don't do anymore. You don't do nuclear. Remember the nuclear? What is it? I don't know. Emergency fucking drills they used to do in the 70s when I was a kid. Holy shit! do you know how incredibly rare a school shooting is? But it's going to be talked about forever because it's Man Bites Dog. It's going to be in the news. Everyone's going to remember it. Everyone's going to talk about it. It's going to be publicized. And it's oh my God. I hate to end the show like this, but I'm going to, because I wish I had something nice to put out there. Let me check my mentions here real quick. Maybe there's something good to end the show on that's better than this crap. Oh man, Evil One. I'll probably use this one tomorrow. Thank you. I'll share this one tomorrow. Body cam shows officers pleading with armed man. Yeah, there's a lot of really good body footage video on YouTube of things that happened, and I'd love to get into that someday. I'm also going to do a video. I just thought of it this morning. Just do a video on the Constitution itself. I'm working on that, and I'm working on a couple commercials, and I still got the video I'm doing regarding what should we actually fear? What and it's reference to something I read the other day talking about police brutality and what should we in the black community. Well, black community is such a weird thing because we all live in we're called a black community, but we're not all part of the black community. We don't all live in the same neighborhoods. We don't have all the same hopes. We don't have the same dreams, same fears, whatever. But what is it that we should really be concerned about when it comes to Black Lives Matter, so to speak? And so I'm working on a video on that. So that's some stuff that's coming up. Probably the Constitution one will come out first. But anyway, hey, everybody, I got to thank you for being here. If you haven't already done so, before you go, please hit that like button down here. And if you get a chance to share it out, that's fine if you share it after the fact. Or if you're watching the end of this and decide to watch the rest of this show another time, please put a comment in the comment section. I always like when people comment there. I try to interact with people who comment there. And in future shows, you know that we also do donations and super chats through the Streamlabs link down below. You can do that anytime. Doesn't have to be during the show. We're here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT right now until Daylight Savings Time changes, however that works. So, but we'll be back tomorrow, Thursday. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Have a great day. Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and I want to thank you for joining me today on the Dawg Knight channel. Before you go, if you like what you saw and you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below, and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 2 p.m. GMT. A special thanks to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through our Streamlabs link in the description below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.